On the Great Western Railway, the famous King class marked the zenith of Swindon steam. Their massive good looks are quite unmistakable. Introduced in 1927, the Kings also benefited from ongoing trials and research. In the 1930s, they were fitted with better superheating, and then, in the 1950s, double chimneys. So by the time they were 30 years old, the Kings were running better than at any time in their entire lives. King Edward I is in superb condition. Hard to believe it was acquired in derelict condition from Barry Scrapyard in South Wales. Another movie-tone scoop. It's September 1931 and the Great Western Railway has accelerated its schedules to make its Cheltenham Flyer the world's fastest train, beating a record briefly held by the Canadian Pacific Railway. The route follows the Great Western's superb main line along the Thames Valley, and Launceston Castle is going flat out. Water troughs again, an essential feature of record-breaking journeys. Engineers were constantly searching for ideas which might radically improve the steam locomotive, and hush hush had been the watchword for the building of this prototype. Designed by Nigel Gresley on the London and North Eastern Railway, it made its debut at the close of 1929. At the locomotive depot at King's Cross, the press pack is out again in force to record this futuristic-looking locomotive. Gresley's number 10,000, which was painted garter blue with silver hoops, featured a unique high-pressure boiler of a type that had proved very successful in shipping. Ordered from a Glasgow company of marine engineers, this boiler took over 4 years to design and build. A shape like this had never been seen before. The Hush Hush ran the original trials well enough, but its early promise was not fully realised, and the engine proved troublesome and costly to maintain. In 1937, it was rebuilt as an orthodox express locomotive, and survived until the 1950s. In 1933, the LMS unveiled its brand new Stania Pacific Princess Royal class, and of course, Movietone News was there.
This is Britain's most powerfulest engine, built by the London, Midland and Scottish Railway for hauling the heavy Scots train between Euston and Glasgow.
It is the maiden journey of the new locomotive on the LMS Scottish Run. The engine has been named after Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal, and she is expected to break all records.
To help win maximum publicity, the LMS laid on a special press train, running on a parallel track out of London Euston for the newsreel cameramen. This is Harrow and Wealdstone Station. No expense spared. A hired light aircraft carried yet another cameraman. Although the Princess Royals were by far the largest engines the LMS had used until that time, and despite Movietone's confident prediction, the class didn't initially break many records. What they did do, however, was cut out the need for a second engine on heavy trains over the hilly main line to Scotland. One of two survivors is the second engine of the class, named after then Princess Elizabeth, now of course Her Majesty the Queen. Another LMS type of this period to make a less than brilliant debut was William Stanier's medium-sized three-cylinder 460. First appearing in 1934, the class was christened Jubilees when King George V celebrated that event the following year. But with early problems resolved, nearly 200 Jubilees were built, most bearing the patriotic names of British colonies, admirals and warships. Like other LMS designs, the Jubilees worked over much of mainland Britain, and these well-proportioned and ultimately very successful engines became well-loved favourites right up until their end in 1967. By contrast, the Silver Jubilee train that went into service in 1935 was the LNER's state-of-the-art streamlined express.
A story of speed on the railway. The Silver Jubilee train, latest streamline wonder of the LNER, leaves King's Cross on her record-making trial run. Cutting the film to help you get the sense of speed, we take you into the air in a plane itself travelling at over 100 miles an hour. At one point, the Silver Jubilee reached 112 miles an hour, and it looks like it.
The engine for this record-breaking train was the first of Nigel Gresley's world-famous A4 class streamliners, Silverlink, built straight off the drawing board. Their peak of fame came on July 3rd, 1938, when Mallard set a world speed record for steam of 126 miles per hour between Grantham and Peterborough. It's a record that will almost certainly stand for all time. Away from the comparatively level racetrack of the East Coast Main Line, and nearly 50 years later, Mallard got the chance to get to grips with the steep gradients of the famous Settling Carlisle line. A4 Sir Nigel Gresley, the 100th Gresley Pacific, was named after the famous designer, who received a knighthood in 1936. The testing climb up the Loon Valley to Shap Fell was once enemy territory. It was on the old LMS's more demanding rival route to Scotland. Back in 1937, King George VI's coronation year, the speed record for steam was being passed back and forth between the LMS and the rival LNER.
The LMS set their coronation engine the task of attacking the British record, and our aerial cameraman Jack Carter follows above and alongside in a plane flying at 100 miles an hour. The result is the record with a top speed of 114 miles per hour.
That Empire record, which lasted just a year until Mallard beat it, was established by Sir William Stanier's new streamlined Pacific Coronation, a larger development of his Princess Royal class. The streamlining, unlike the rest of the locomotive, was not entirely successful, and later members of the class were built without it. Those built with it saw it removed.